Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a video on my experiences and my time at working at MAC Cosmetics. This is a little bit of an overdue video because I feel like the time that I've had from leaving MAC to now is just sort of time to get over actually what happened. I'm not going to go into too much detail about what happened, but I am going to go into the actual job side of it and just sort of discuss and let you guys know how I felt about working there, like the whole overview of the entire job. So I'm just going to put everything into one video, so anyone who does need any information, it's all in one video for you. So let's crack on with the video. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the interview process and obviously applying for the job. Now, when I applied for MAC, I didn't believe in any sort of in any way, shape or form that I would get the job. I had previously been working on Benefit Cosmetics. I'd been working on one of their counters for about a year, and I just sort of wasn't getting anywhere. It was sort of the same thing, same day out. I really struggled with the products at Benefit just because I found that the products wasn't that good quality, especially like the eyeshadows and stuff like that. Benefit Cosmetics are a really good company to work for. If you want to get onto like a more of a higher end counter, you do get a lot of good sort of information and knowledge from working on a Benefit counter, and I didn't hate Benefit at all in any sort of way throughout my time was there for the full year. I absolutely loved it. So that's obviously how I applied. Now I sort of took my knowledge and everything I'd learned from Benefit and applied for a job at MAC. Now I did it online. I just looked online, applied for it. So obviously I applied for a job online. I actually initially applied for a 25-hour contract at the time. They then gave me an email back about 3 days after and said, congratulations, your details have been passed to the HR recruitment people. They then sent me another email offering me an interview, and I went to the interview. I did the interview. The interview's very sort of like formal, and they just sort of want to hear what you can do and what you've done in the past and stuff like that. My advice would be to take some pictures of what you've done in the past. I took some photographs that I'd done makeup wise, obviously throughout how long I've been doing makeup. I just printed some photos off my phone that I'd done and just sort of took them with me to the interview, and that just sort of it obviously will help you to go towards your interview. I then did the interview. The questions were stuff like, do you know stuff about Viva Glam? Do you know about Back to MAC? And just general chit chat questions really, just stuff like, what have you done? How do you find working at Benefit? Why do you want to leave? Blah blah blah. Then so obviously after the interview they say, okay, we'll let you know in a couple of days. I then got a call from one of the managers at the MAC store where I used to work saying, congratulations, we feel like you was really good in your interview and you were successful, so we want to invite you back for a makeup test. The makeup test is really thorough, so you've got to be really thorough with what you do. They expect you to bring your own model and bring your own brushes. So that for me was pretty easy. I had a model, my friend Emma came with me, and obviously brushes, I'd been doing makeup before that, so I'd already had accumulated from when I was doing makeup. I'd already accumulated quite a lot of brushes. So that was really easy for me. So yeah, did that, took my model down. Now they give you a sort of, I think they give you two 20-minute slots. Now you can either choose eyes or brows or something like that. They give you sort of stages you can choose from. I went in, and obviously when I went there I'd seen people come for their trial, and their trial was so different to mine. The trainer gave them 20 minutes to do each thing. I didn't have that. I just basically went in and she basically said to me, right, okay, you can choose what you want to do. On my model I ended up doing brows and skin, so I did a really full coverage foundation and some good brows, and I think I had half an hour to do both, and I think at the end of it I sort of did it in about 20 minutes, and it was really full coverage and my model really liked it, and then the trainer said, you've still got 10 minutes left, do you want to put something else on? So I just put a quick lip on and a little bit of coat gloss, and then that was it. And from there she basically says, she gives you some feedback as to how you was talking to the customers. So when you take your model in, you've got to speak to your model like it's you don't know them, it's just a customer. So you're like, oh yeah, how are you? What are you doing the face? What are you doing this evening? What do you do for a job? And they love that you find out that information about the customer because you're really personalising it for them. So that'd be the tips on the makeup test. Now, I really would obviously try your hardest with the makeup test. Do not panic, it's not scary at all. Really genuine and really calm. Just go in and do your best, and that's all you can do. After the makeup test, they then say, right, okay, we'll be in contact with you in about 48 hours. I then got a phone call off the manager who called me about the interview, saying I was successful. It's the same manager who called me about the makeup test and basically said, you were successful in your makeup test, we want to offer you the job. Now, initially, like I said, I did apply for 25 hours and they actually offered me 37, which again were a bonus. More hours the better for me. So obviously not knowing what it'd be like once you actually work there, I took the 37 hours and off I went. And then the problem started. I finished working at Benefit, I then got my start date for Mac. So off I toddled. I had to be there at 9 o'clock. I got there for about 10 to 9 and I just thought I need to be early, obviously, because it's a good impression and all that bullshit. I then got there and I called the Mac counter, and the manager who called me answered the phone. And I said, hi, I'm here. I don't know how to get in, the door shut down. She was like, well, what do you want me to do about it? Okay. And she was like, you're just gonna have to wait till 9 o'clock. And I was like, okay. So that was that. So that was sort of like the first, like, okay, calm down. Start working there, it was fine. Little things then started to pick up. I started to pick little things up, like the managers would just sit in the back office for hours and hours on end, and then come out and then expect to be like, hey, you know, like, I've done loads of things. No, you haven't. You've been sat in there just chatting every single hour of the day. You would then need to ask them something really important, like, when are we getting Christmas sets in? You'd go in and they'd be all having like a gathering, and literally, hi, like, when are the Christmas sets coming? They'd look at it and you'd be like, and it's like, calm down, I've not just like kicked your child, like, I just want to know when the Christmas sets are in. It's really, really not a big deal. That for me was one of the problems where I actually started to feel like I don't belong here. It was so stereotypical, like, Mac turns you into this horrible person. You can go in there and say, do you know what, I will not turn into those people, when I've been into Mac before and people are just so unhelpful and so horrible, and you think to yourself, I will not turn into that person. You do. You turn into that person no matter how hard you try to fight it. You will turn into that person. You will then get involved with all the bitching, and then before you know it, the snakes that work with you are then grassing you up and saying, actually, James said this, James said that, blah blah fucking blah. So then you get in trouble, and actually it's all those lot that are accumulating stories to get you into trouble. For me, it was just like, enough is enough, I've had enough. Then comes a day when we had loads of visitors in, and basically you get given like a section that you have to complete throughout the day, and that has to be your section throughout the day. You have to make sure it looks clean and everything is in order. I think this particular day I had foundation, and I was doing the studio fix ones. I fixed them all, like cleaned them all up, put them all in order. We then had loads of appointments, and it was around, I think it was around like prom time, so we had like thousands of like appointments in. And people had messed up the foundations, like all the studio fix was in wrong order, with foundations just like popping out all over the like bottles and stuff. And then because the managers had been sat in the back, they'd not seen me clean them, they'd come out and basically had a go at me and was like, they've not been cleaned. And I'm like, yes, they have. They have been cleaned. It's because we've got 1,000 appointments in, and you have just been sat in the back chatting shit for the last 4 hours when I've done it, and now you've come out and that we've had appointments in. The appointments have come and gone. People have used the foundations, and now they're just at a mess again. Like, and I'm already serving people. It's close to Christmas and prom time, and like, what do you want me to do? Literally, they would want you to come into work if you was on a life support machine. You can't give enough to those people who work at Mac. They think they're better than you, and at the end of the day, you fucking work in retail. Get a grip. They pay you a basic wage. You don't get any commission for the amount you sell. You go there and you sell £1,000. You don't get any commission on that. You get jack shit. I was just like, enough is enough, I've had enough. I then started looking for jobs, constantly looking for jobs. Then comes an incident where I get blamed for something that's actually pretty serious, that is nothing to do with me. And the stupid manager, she comes in like marching down, she's like, Jamie, I need to take you into the back. Like, fuck off. And at the end of the day, she was just like, this has happened, this, and then expecting me to just go back out onto the shop floor and work like normal. I went home, and at the end of the day, I am not going to stand around and let someone like that belittle me in front of everyone. And they swore to me that it would stay confidential Did it? Fuck, stay confidential. The whole counter knew, behind my back, and then everyone was coming up to me like, oh, Jamie, you alright? Yeah, I was like, I'm fine. Just like everyone who works on a Mac counter are so snaky and so up their own arse, and at the end of the day you work for a makeup counter. Like, everyone's the same, everyone's got sales targets to hit, and at the end of the day, if you want to go into a makeup counter and you think that you're not going to go there and it's not going to be a sales job, you couldn't be more wrong. It is full on sales, and Mac really pressure you to hit your sales. If you're not hitting your sales, you're going to be out the door. It's as simple as that. And for me, I just had enough, and unfortunately, it did come to an end, and because everything that happened at Mac, it just sucked all the passion out of me, and I had no passion to work there anymore. I just didn't give a shit whatever they did to me, and something happened and I left quite quickly. I faked that I was ill and got a sick note for a week, which, haha, because I just couldn't stand working there. I needed to do something to get out of there quicker. So for me, at the end of the day, like, I just wanted to get out of there and just get rid of that fucking bullshit background that I was working there, because it was terrible. I honestly don't know why people like hype about getting a job at Mac, because at the end of the day, like, Mac's Mac. It's always going to be known for bitchy staff. It's always going to be known for people who don't help you, and at the end of the day, I don't want to be known like that. And now, like I said, it is a very overdue video. I've not done a video on this because I've just had all this anger built up inside me. Just because I don't like the persona that Mac gave, and at the end of the day, it sucked everything out of me. So for me, that is the story of me working at Mac. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little bitchy, but hey ho. If you do need to know anything more, just leave a message down below and I will reply to you. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat and Twitter, which I will leave below, so just click over there and follow me. And if you do need to ask me anything, don't hesitate to give me a private message. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!